Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be kind of a celebrity copycat look. I don't know if everybody got a chance to watch the Grammys when they were on. The Grammys are definitely my favorite of all the award season, you know, big to-dos. I will say though, I was super disappointed in the Grammys this year. I didn't even watch the whole thing, which never happens for me. But anyway, one thing, of course, that did stand out for me and probably for everyone was Adele at the Grammys. She looked absolutely phenomenal. The queen of cat eye and contour, had super simple, very understated makeup, and her hair was short. It was textured, it was curly, it wasn't our big 60s do that we're used to from her, and she absolutely looked phenomenal. So I wanted to kind of try to attempt to copy her look. Again, very simple. She was all about the brows. They were very dark, very thick, and of course the cat eye made its appearance. Not a really dramatic cat eye at all. Even her contour, I don't even think she had any contour on. It was just blush and her amazing natural cheekbones. So I wanted to try to recreate that look. Like I said, the lashes are actually pretty simple for me. You know, I like my big crazy lashes. So if you want to see how I got this look mimicking Adele at the Grammys, please keep watching.
Today we are going to start off, I already have my foundation and concealer on, so we are starting off today with the brows. Adele had kind of these straight across, darker, bushier brows than I have, but then maybe we're used to seeing on her. So I'm going to go in with a spoolie and fluff up my brow hairs, basically just brushing everything upwards, and that's going to create that kind of thickness and, you know, I don't want to say bushiness, but bushiness, I guess. And then going in with this flat tapered brush, this angled brush, and a little bit of Anastasia Dipbrow pomade in the color soft brown. I'm going to just dip my brush in the pomade, kind of tap off the excess, and start creating our brows. What I'm going to do here is short upward strokes on my natural hairs. This is how we're going to create that thickness and that fullness, but also kind of help out the shape a little bit. So she did have an arch in her brows in the look, and again, it was very thick. So I'm going here to create a little bit of arch, but mostly try to capture that more straight across line and keep the brows a little bit fuller and a little bit darker. So the way that we're going to achieve that, as you can see, is to just keep hitting the brow hairs with short little strokes. We don't have too much product on the brush, so it's not going to get too carried away. We're not going to, you know, Groucho Marx this situation, because nobody likes that. But just, it's really trial and error, and I know I say that a lot, but especially for this, you want to work with your brows, see what shape they're giving you, and then kind of accommodate it or kind of sculpt it accordingly. And really, I'm going in at the ends here, same thing, short upward strokes, creating a little bit of an arch, but also trying to thicken or to draw above the brows in terms of creating that thicker illusion for me. Unfortunately, I have not been blessed with the gift of delightfully thick brows. So you can see, just looking at the difference between the two brows, my regular brow is very thin and, you know, not super spectacular, but then you see that the other brow has been shaped, darkened, and it's starting to come together a little bit. So I think we can fast forward a little bit on how we're doing our brows. And by the power of editing, the brows are done. So I'm going to go into now, and we're zipping around. This is the Morphe 35W palette. It's this really great warm toned palette, and going in with kind of that orangey tan shade, I'm going to put this color in the crease. Windshield wiper motions back and forth, concentrating it in the crease. And this is just going to be a good base for us to blend out the rest of our shadows. Adele's shadows in the look were extremely minimal. It looks like she just kind of has these warm tones, and that's really it. So going in with this orangey shade, I'm going to take that right over the other shade, the lighter shade. And again, windshield wiper that, blend that out a little bit. Adele's space between her brow and her eyelid are much closer than mine are, so you can see the difference. And I decided to go in with kind of that brown shade and try to define the crease itself a little bit more. I feel like I looked a little bit washed out. Now going in with this shimmery golden shade, I'm going to hit the lid, all over the lid, into the crease, not into the crease, but up to the crease. And this is just going to create like a nice neutral soft tone right on our lids. And then use the same color just to highlight the brow a little bit. Again, we're not super archy on the brow, so it's not a definite requirement, but I just like to even out the look a little bit, bring a little bit of attention to the brow. And there we go with our shadows. It's super simple on this one, and not too many shadows, all from one palette again. So now is the tricky part. Let's go ahead and zoom that in. Hello. So we're going to go in with, I am using the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I just started using this, and I'm still getting used to it, so I'm still getting used to the brush. You use what works for you. But to create this cat eye, what I like to do is do the wing first, kind of pull it out, draw it on like you saw, and then go in close to my lashes and just kind of connect the dots. So kind of create short brush strokes connecting the lash line to the wing. And then from the wing, drawing that out, drawing it to connect a little bit thicker to the line that we made above the lashes, and simply pulling that line, short strokes, taking your time, filling it in, and that's going to create a more seamless cat eye. And you can see I kind of jumped ahead because, I mean, you can't even see, but I kind of jumped ahead a little bit just because it really takes me a really long time to do it, and I did not want to have a 35-minute video on me doing my line. So you can see how it came out on both eyes. It's not a super thick wing. It's not a super thick line. It just kind of extends maybe into the crease. And then we're going to go in with some mascara, and I'm going to just do the top of my lashes. This is how I like to apply false lashes. So I do the top of my lashes with mascara, and then I go in with the false lashes, a pair of tweezers. This helps me. And if you can do it with your fingers, please teach me. But I need tweezers, and I like to grab the inner corner of the lashes where the lashes will be placed on the inner corner of your eye. I use a Duo lash glue. It's a dark lash glue that I don't know where this was all my life. I always used regular lash glue. Now that I have the dark lash glue, it makes me look like such a better makeup artist. Tricks. So it takes forever for the lash glue to get tacky. And by the miracle of editing, we now have our lashes on. So we're going to go into blush now. And this is the MAC Fairly Precious Extra Dimension Skin Finish Blush. I've used this in a couple videos before. It's got a really great sheen to it, a nice peachy pink color, which I think really mimics what Adele used on her cheeks. And you can see I'm not going in with any bronzer. I'm just going for the cheeks. So smile, make those apples of your cheeks come forward, and then hit them with the blush all over from your cheekbone back to back into your temples. She had a heavy blush in her look, so that's why I went a little bit heavier with my blush. And because she has amazing cheekbones and I don't necessarily, I am going to bake my blush, which I've never done before actually, but you know, you're trying something new every day. I love it. So I'm just baking my blush line. You can see I'm actually bringing it up into the curve of the cheek, which is really going to define the cheekbones, make it look like I actually have really great cheekbones, even if I don't. And we're going to just leave that on to bake for a little while. And then back into our 35W palette from Morphe, I'm going to take this chocolatey color and just hit my underneath my eyes, my lower lash line with that color and kind of smudge it out. She had a little bit of color underneath her eyes, nothing too fierce, nothing too crazy, but just to kind of bring the look together a little, add some color underneath the eyes. So we're just smudging that out with a pencil brush. I'm only bringing it to the end of my lashes, and again, nothing too dramatic. It just does make a little bit of a difference. You can see the eyes stand out a little bit more. So now, next up, we are going to hit those lower lashes with mascara. This is the MAC False Lashes Extreme Black Mascara. I, again, have used this before. I'm very loyal to my products. I use them again and again and again. So this is just going to coat the bottom lashes, and then the eye will be complete, which is great. Super simple, like I said. Now onto the lips. She has a very nudie peach color, so I went in with Urban Decay Naked 2 lipstick. It's kind of like a nude tan type of color. And then to layer over that, I used the NARS Orgasm color, and that kind of created that nude peachy pink color that I was looking for, just because I didn't really have one on its own. If you have a color on its own, you do you. Now blending out that bake, and you can see the cheekbones are defined. I'm just kind of running that stippling brush all over, making sure we're all blended and delightful. Remove our hair clips if you've already done your hair, and this look is complete. This is my take on Adele at the Grammys, and I hope you enjoyed.
No, nobody. Like, how many times do you have to say the same thing?